Hello, I'm Safron Rossi. Today, March 20th, 2021, the sun enters Aries, heralding the spring equinox in the Western Hemisphere. And meditating on this symbolic turn of the wheel, I want to share with you an image I particularly adore. This is a fresco from the Palazzo Schifanoia called The Triumph of Minerva over Aries. Aries is ruled by Mars, the god of warlust and belligerence, who personifies the archetypal principles of action, ambition, drive, and willpower. And some of the qualities of Aries consciousness are impulsivity, rushing forth into things hastily, enthusiasm, and life zest. This constellation of qualities is connected to the archetypal nature of beginnings. Aries marks the spring point in the zodiac where new life emerges from the primal sea of being, symbolized by Pisces in the 12th house. New life of any form requires fierce energy to burst forth and break through, chicks pecking their way out of shells, tender shoots pushing up from beneath dark, fecund soil, all exemplify this moment. So Aries, the fierce ram, rushes in, supplying the necessary energy to ensure that the new emerges. Now, like all things in life, Mars energy, so exquisitely expressed in Aries, has a lot of room to mature. Mars, in its raw expression, we could call having to do with the force for sake of action. An archetypal portrait of a more sophisticated martial energy can be found in Minerva, the Roman goddess that the Greeks called Athena. Now, Athena is one of the 12 Olympian gods of Plato's cosmology, one of the dodecatheoi. She is a living power of the creative force that courses through the cosmos. The gods are the archetypal patterns, animated, personified, and in beautiful motion. Plato called the planets visible gods, and they were understood to be the rulers of the 12 zodiac signs. And for both Plato and the Roman astrologer Manilius, Athena ruled Aries, the woolly ram. This is the astrological and mythic knowledge that the creators of the Italian fresco were looking at depicted. So we can say that the spring equinox belongs in part to the archetypal rhythm of the goddess Athena and her qualities of consciousness. She is a protector of youth and beginnings. She cared for and counseled Telemachus, Odysseus and Penelope's teenage son, who we see growing into himself over the course of the epic tale of the Odyssey. Athena was called Kurotruphos, nurse of the young, because as protector of cities, the vulnerable and small were vesseled and nurtured by her peaceful civilizing power. These are all activities or concerns belonging to the Mars archetype. Defense of what is of value, protection of the young, the new. Athena is the goddess for whom action is taken when it ensures victory. So she is a war goddess, not because she loves the brutality and the rush of the fight, but because battles require strategy in order to be victorious. And so this goddess personifies the clear-sighted action necessary for strategic thinking. She is the shrewd calculator of possibilities. It is that quality of cool head and clear vision that allows us to see the right action to be taken. So it is no wonder that Athena's Homeric epithet was glaucopus, meaning bright eyes. I mean, her animal familiar, the owl, likewise has large eyes and intelligent countenance that connotes this clarity of perception. We could call Athena's triumph what is best described by the classicist Walter Otto as the perfection in the living present, untrammeled and victorious action, not in the service of some remote and infinite idea, but of mastery of the moment. Mastery of the moment is the genius of a refined Mars. This is what the fresco suggests. Athena's earthy red cape flutters as she hovers on the back of the Aries ram. Despite his leaping vigor, she is calm and her posture is serenely attentive. Unhurried and without agitation, Athena rides this instinctive force of life with ease. Her finely wrought hands suggest mastery and precision. Notice the golden sun that shines below. Mars's current transit through Gemini amplifies some of these themes. Athena, as the bright-eyed goddess, brings to mind the great astrologer Dane Rudhyar's description of Gemini as a vivid extension of perception. To see far and well, to imagine oneself extending forwards towards a goal. Key phrases that come to mind are curiosity, openness to follow the new shoot energies that are rising. How about acting receptively rather than impulsively? In that Gemini signature of Mars's current transit, expressing our vital energies with and through words comes to mind. Many of us continue to depend on this in our physically distanced communities right now. Careful, thoughtful, cool consideration of what we say and how we say it is part of Athena's genius as well. So perhaps that is also part of what wants inviting into our awareness at this time too. So I'd like to end with a poem blessing by John O'Donohue titled In Praise of Fire. Fire, the animating elemental intelligence of Aries, the element of the spring equinox, and the fire red of our Athena riding on the back of the Aries ram. Let us praise the grace and risk of fire. In the beginning, the word was red, and the sound was thunder, and the wound in the unseen spilled forth the red weather of being. In the name of the fire, the flame, and the light, praise the pure presence of fire that burns from within, without thought of time. The hunger of fire has no need for the reliquary of the future. It adores the eros of now, where the memory of the earth in flames that lick and drink the air is made to release its long enduring forms in a powder of ashes left for the wind to decipher. As air intensifies the hunger of fire, may the thought of death breathe new urgency into our love of life. As fire cleanses dross, may the flame of passion burn away what is false. As short as the time from spark to flame, so brief may the distance be between heart and being. May we discover beneath our fear embers of anger to kindle justice. May courage cause our lives to flame in the name of the fire and the flame and the light.